we got another weathery bitch.
Yay!
You can send one face up, can tell you a spell a trap you control to the graveyard. Place one whether a spell a trap from your deck in your spell a trap zone face up.
Okay.
This, Lazula, and Seal all plays weathery spell a traps on the field.
That's 3 of them things.
Which is fine, but we don't need any more effects that place them on the field.
But since it's here,
Let's talk about it!
To place a weathery spell a trap with this bitch, you need to have a face-up continuous spell a trap on the field to send to the graveyard.
Side note.
doesn't have to be a weathery pattern. It can be any spell and trap.
But outside of sending a face-up weathery pattern you don't want for one that you do want, what other continuous spell traps are you playing in weatheries? I only got 2. Skill drain and lose 1 turn. In case you didn't know, the weathery patterns effects that are given to the weathery bitches banishes cost, skill drain and lose 1 turn only negate face-up monster effects on field.
So...
Your weathery bitches aren't affected when they banish themselves.
It really sucks that skill drain is limited in the TCG.
But I understand!
These 3 weathery bitches are cool and all, but we still need some way to summon more than 1 weathery at a time, which in turn helps Arceal, cause Arceal's like...
the shit!
But that don't mean nothing if you can't summon her. So basically we have to hope that the remaining weathery bitches help with that? But you know what they say about hope, don't you?
Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane.
She has 1700 attack,
Pretty strong.
special summons herself like all the others, and lets you cycle through your weathery patterns.
Which is cool.
But this effect really should have been a... So I bought...
3 of them things?
Bitron, Draconet, Ramclouder, Link Slayer. Right. Kariban is an interesting reprint. Cardi, Raikou, Effect Veiler, that's pretty good. Forbidden Lance, Pot of Duality, Terraforming.
Supply squad.
Pay for everybody.
Deciding to play a rogue deck, you're putting yourself at extreme disadvantage. You got a hell of an upward battle. But just because you decide to play rogue doesn't necessarily mean that you're better than the motherfucker who decided to play meta. Now if you have that motherfucking De Niro and you don't want to go through trading and borrowing cards and shit, just buying the shit straight up just saves a whole lot of time. I completely understand. But me personally, it ain't worth it for me to buy all these cards and play them for a few months until the ban list gives this motherfucking deck all of
The dick.
I'm not going to be playing in events like that. I just think it's a waste. And there's no amount of weed or alcohol I've consumed in my life that would prevent me from thinking like that. Believe me, I've tried it. Why do people play rogue? Well, people don't like the meta. The meta is generally boring, yes. But the meta becomes predictable. And this is pretty damn important when it comes to competitive play. You don't have a whole lot of variance, but there's still variance because it's a card game and you know shit's gonna happen. But if you have the meta to worry about, it ain't that many decks. As opposed to rogue, where a lot of shit can happen, and, you know, the meta player probably ain't preparing for that shit, which is why sometime or another, chain burn or something can punish the meta deck. But the meta deck will probably still win just because it's more consistent, it's faster, it's more explosive. I guess those things are the same. Whatever. If a person decides to pay the money for the meta, let them pay for the meta. I respect motherfuckers that do this. They see what they want and they buy it and no complaints. They know that this shit is probably not the best idea, but we do a whole bunch of shit that's just dumb as fuck as human beings. So they make the decision to buy these cards. They want to play it, they got the right to do that. This shit ain't taken away from me, ain't taken away from you. They decide to do it, they play it. Even though they know, it's probably gonna get reprinted in the next magazines. They buy the shit anyway, because they want to play now. I respect motherfuckers that do that and don't complain. Whereas rogue players talk down to motherfuckers that spend their money the way that they want to spend it. I didn't realize you were giving them money. I didn't realize this had anything to do with you. But I understand people in general, they like to internalize shit. And the fact that a motherfucker spent such and such amount of money on necros or ran up his credit card or some shit, whatever the fuck happened, I understand the motherfuckers internalize shit because that's emotion. You get emotionally invested. You look at the situation, you be like, damn, that's stupid. But it ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm dropping gems in this motherfucker. But that doesn't give you a good enough reason to talk shit about somebody. But if you was going to ask me what I thought about doing such and such, it's a stupid fucking idea. But if they decide to do it, they have the ability to do it. This is just simply the matter of choice of being an individual. This is the same thing as a bitch wanting to be a hoe. There's always going to be some dude out there that's going to fuck a hoe. Regardless if you say it's a bad idea. Which it probably is a bad idea because the pussy's loose as fuck. It's a matter of choice. Some of y'all like the underdog story of playing a rogue deck. You go to an event, you play your rogue deck, and for whatever reason or another, you end up doing well at the event. Good for you. And then you'd have your 15 seconds of fame. Some motherfucker will put it on YouTube and say, dude, this is really interesting. This is not meta, such and such and such. But you can look at the fucking deck and you can see it's not fucking meta. This is interesting. He did such and such. He got second with this. Okay. And then you know those motherfuckers out the woodwork that ain't talked ever in life. Man, I knew that deck was good, son. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. But we all know, regardless if you want to admit this or not, I'm saying it. That was more likely a fluke. And it doesn't matter how good of a player you believe that you are. Something called variance, aka
In case shit happens.
and we cannot get past that being Yu-Gi-Oh players, or maybe you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, you play some type of card game. You know what the fuck I'm saying? This shit is universal. I don't say these things in these videos to try to convince y'all to think differently. You do what the fuck you want, because it ain't got shit to do with me. I'm just simply saying how I feel about the idea. I think that people should just let people be who they be. And this is perhaps coming from a more mature standpoint, because what you do ain't got shit to do with me. If you decide to spend all that motherfucking dinero on a deck that's going to get hit in like 3 months, that is all on you. I understand that's a thing that's hard to kind of sort of wrap your head around on the internet, because the internet allows people to just talk nonsense, talk absolute bullshit. People should be able to understand other people's perspectives, and if they don't want to do something, you should be able to understand. I could see why a person wouldn't want to do that, because if I was in their situation, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to do it either. But of course, this is the internet, and Yu-Gi-Oh in particular, because I have experience with a lot of these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers aren't on the same thinking level. We have immature motherfuckers in this game that just want to talk and get attention.
One more thing.
People say you broke to try to attack a person that doesn't want to spend money on a game. A lot of money. And you don't have to spend a lot of money on the game to play the game. As far as being at a competitive level, whatever, that's debatable. But when people say you're broke,
Well, here I go.
this is why I hate people. It's not the fact that you're saying that this motherfucker's broke. It is a hell of an assertion based on no knowledge whatsoever. This motherfucker has never said anything ever, but he said, I don't want to spend the money on that. That should be reasonable enough. It's like me. You don't know how much money I have. Facts. So even if I bought the deck, I'm going to try to impress one motherfucker. I'm going to try to impress you. You don't mean anything. It's as if motherfuckers don't even like to think at all. Even if they were thinking it internally, they don't vocalize that shit. But this is the internet. They can say dumb shit like that all the time. And then when facts get thrown around, motherfuckers get quiet. And then they're like, I was just joking. Fuck you!
That's all I have to say about that.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to
Help me! Help me!
pay rent, all I ask for is literally seconds out your day to do something
I don't know why I'm doing my hands like that.
with those advertisements if they show up. But if they show up, you already know.
And
My Patreon and Discord server link is in the description. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Gratitizzle. You already know by now.
I appreciate you.